published 1730est, the 1st of December 2017, updated 1907est, the 1st of December 2017. Riyad Mahrez stands before a vast image of Muhammad Ali, enthusing about him and another of his idols, Roger Federer, the sole reason he was determined to make it to Wimbledon this summer. Yet it is in the story of how he wound up at St Mirren 9 years ago, in the depths of a bitter Scottish winter, that something significant emerges about the player with title aspirations of his own. I didn't want to go, says the French-born Algerian with a grin in an hour's conversation about his struggles, triumphs, philosophies and ambitions. Less than 24 hours after scoring the goal that helped Leicester City beat Tottenham, Riyad Mahrez has grand ambitions to reach the very top of the game and win multiple medals right from the start. I didn't want to go, but someone I knew, more a friend than an agent, told me there was a trial in Scotland. He said, come on, let's try it, so I said okay. What happened next is something Mahrez can laugh about now. His arrival at Glasgow Airport, 6 weeks living in a small hotel on a minimal income, scoring goals freely for St Mirren's under 21s and a local football agent becoming very interested in him in a way that first-team manager Gus McPherson was not. I had 4 games. I scored 7 goals. Every game one was scoring, he says. They tried to keep me but I never got near the first team. And then my friend in France called me and said the Scottish agent wanted to cut him out, sign me up and become my agent instead. My friend said, come back home. I'll get you a ticket. So the player who within 9 years would become a Ballon d'Or nominee, and take 7th place in that vote, found himself hatching a plan to retrieve his boots before doing a moonlight flit from Scotland. Like his idol Muhammad Ali, and Roger Federer also, Mahrez has grand aspirations of success. I scored 7 in 4 at St Mirren but never got near the first team. I'd left my boots at the training ground, so I took a bike from the hotel to get them, he relates. Then I took the bus from the hotel, then the train, arrived at the airport and took the first plane back. What strikes you, as 26-year-old Mahrez relates this tale, is how persuadable he was. This slight individual has such burning belief in his own ability that during lunch breaks at his school in Sarcelles, a Parisian banlieue, he would tell dining room assistants that he would play in the 2014 World Cup one day, which he did, for Algeria, by virtue of his late father Ahmed. Yet an ability to take control of his own destiny has come less easily. When others have said go over the years, Mahrez has generally gone. And when others have said stay, he has tended to fall in line. Now, there seems to be a greater resolve to shape events, rather than allow them to shape him, to follow his own path rather than wait for one to materialize. He has a new agent, recently joining the Sports Invest stable that includes Liverpool's Philippe Coutinho, Chelsea's David Luiz and Willian, and the exciting Watford winger Richarlison. Scoring against Spurs as he did on Tuesday, shaping inside Jan Vertonghen to arc a left-footed shot from the edge of the area around Hugo Lloris, rekindled memories of being the centre of the national football conversation 18 months ago. He doesn't mind saying he misses all that. Mahrez began his professional career at Le Havre, though was frequently told he was too slight. The win reminded me of when we were champions, he says, and yes, of course I want to win more trophies. I've always had the ambition to win a lot of trophies. It's what we are playing for. At the end of your career, what you will keep in your head is the memory of winning trophies, Premier League, Champions League. Those are the only things you remember. He says he was 5,050 about leaving in the summer of 2016, once Leicester's title was won. He spoke to Arsenal's chief transfer negotiator, Dick Law, at that time. His representatives were in touch with Arsene Wenger. He feels that was the closest he has come to leaving and that Arsenal were the best fit for his skills. And what became of that chance? I don't know what happened, he shrugs. It's football. You never know what will happen. Luis Suarez was not nearly so philosophical when Arsenal's approach for him came to nothing 3 summers earlier. Mahrez's reticence about discussing this stems from the self-effacing nature he shares with friend, former teammate and occasional tennis partner N'Golo Kante. But Kante left Leicester for Chelsea in a second successive title, while Mahrez stayed and signed a £100,000 a week deal. There was no buyout clause, which has given Leicester a strong hand. At school, he told dining room assistants he would play in the 2014 World Cup, which he didn't. N'Golo had a clause, and when he left they stopped those clauses, Mahrez says. They said they would never give one to anyone after that. And though he speaks of Leicester with affection, Mahrez clearly feels he does not know all that there is to know about which clubs have been interested in him in the past 18 months. They didn't want to sell me. They said, yes, there will be no problem if something comes up, he says, but behind the scenes they were blocking stuff, talking to clubs but just not wanting to sell me. But I'm confident. Contract or no contract, I believe I will get to the top. When you have quality, and show it, there's no problem. He has made no secret of the fact that he may need to look elsewhere for success and trophies, in the finite time a football career allows. In May, he handed in a transfer request. I wanted to be transparent, not play people around, be honest about it, he says. 3 months later came one of those deadline day frenzies, after a photograph of him at Charles de Gaulle Airport was circulated, putting photographers in London and Barcelona on alert to identify his onward destination. He didn't even leave France that day, he reveals. The Algeria national team let me leave their base because there was a chance a move might happen and we were going so far away, to Zambia, for a World Cup qualifier, he says. Despite not thinking he was made for the English game, Mahrez soon began to flourish. He flew from Algeria to Paris and after that I was reading, Riyadh is here, Riyadh is there. Riyadh is somewhere else. Noi was at home in France all the time. I missed the Zambia game because there was no way to get out there. They couldn't organize a flight. The summer's only firm offer was from Roma and, once again, he stayed. The resolve to keep him has evidently done nothing to diminish his affection for a club who, with the St Mirren experience in mind, he most definitely harboured doubts about joining in the winter of 2014. But Leicester's offer of £350,000 to League Two side Le Havre was the only one on the table. This time it was his mother, Halima, who urged him to take a chance. Go, she said. Once again Mahrez went. I really didn't want to come, he admits now. It reminded me of St Mirren, bad memories, the language I can't speak. I said, I'm not going. But my mum insisted and I came with 2 friends so I wasn't on my own. I was staying at the Leicester Marriott Hotel and we hung out together. Leicester City surprised him. Hez struggled through 5 professional years in France, where at Quimper and Le Havre there were suggestions he lacked the physique, at 5 feet 10 inches and 10 stone, to make it. Under Claudio Ranieri Mahrez took his game to the next level, and had the boss full belief, yet here was manager Nigel Pearson delighted to have him along. Not to mention Pearson's assistant, Steve Walt, who had scouted at Le Havre with another forward in mind, Cape Verdean Ryan Mendes, and stumbled on Mahrez by luck. When I arrived, they showed me a lot of videos of myself, Mahrez says. They'd been following me a bit and that did surprise me. Really knew me and Nigel Pearson really wanted me. Within months, he also met the confident young Englishwoman, Rita, who would become his wife, the mother of their 2 young children and, on the evidence of her being around in the background during our interview, a source of strength, humor and wise counsel. She was working as an extra in the film industry at the time, for Warner Brothers and Disney. Mahrez seems to excel at most sports, including table tennis, though Rita questions his suggestion that she cannot match him at the table they have at home. Seems no quarter is given in that contest. It has not been the only one. Mahrez once told L'Equipe the story of the championship game in his early Leicester months in 2014, when he was happy to be a substitute. Better I didn't play. It was intense. I would have got myself killed. The 26-year-old was instrumental in Leicester's miraculous title win of the 201,516 season. He excelled in the championship. It made him hungrier for the Premier League when it came. In France, they said I was a player for Spain, so I went with that, he says. Everyone was saying, it's not for you. I came to believe them. I thought I would never play in England. It's hard to avoid the impression that it is somewhere on English soil that he would most relish taking his game next. He did not anticipate the relationship he would foster with Claudio Ranieri, the former Leicester manager. He was the one who believed in me most, says Mahrez. Riyadh is our light, the Italian said at one stage during that astonishing season. When he switches on, Leicester change colour. For all this players' deference for the 2 managers who have followed, Craig Shakespeare and now Claude Puel, there is no one like quite Claudio. Puel recently demanded more consistency after substituting Mahrez early at West Ham, following a performance well short of his best. I have to accept constructive criticism, he says of this. I'm here to improve. Mahrez is a man who doesn't intend to stand still and is determined to win more on, so speaks an individual who clearly does not intend to stand still. Whatever happens next, Leicester can have no regrets over their extremely well-invested £350,000, though St Mirren will always rue an opportunity missed. Their top scorer in that season when Mahrez could not make the first team was Billy Mehmet, an English journeyman now in Cyprus. He scored 8 goals in all competitions.